أجمل مراقبة
ومع الطلاب كرمال على الثغرة على الكاميرا بارتي يكون في لجنة على ما بعرف شو يكون في لجنة.
It may look like a meeting at a modelling agency, but these students are in a truly deadly situation.
أنا دليت 4 ساعات تحت التحقيق، آخر شيء هو كتب الإفادة وأنا مضيع عليه. لا قريب
They're being watched day and night for saying out loud what other Lebanese have only dared whisper for the past decade. They've become the focus of Syrian intelligence, the most brutal security force in the Middle East.
المخابرات هذول كرمال تحرير الجنوب وكرمال كذا وصور مدري مين وصور مدري شو نوصل حملة تنظيف نشيله.
Over the past 3 months, virtually every person in this room has been arrested in a crackdown against Lebanese suspected of anti-Syrian sympathies.
شرط انه يكون لبناني اكيد.
وكلهم انه صاروا يلوموني، طيب انا المحامي ما خلوه يشوفني، انا قعدت 4 أيام حبس ما خلوا المحامي يشوفني، ومنا نروح نحن بدنا ننام يلا.
In Lebanon, Syria controls the government, the army, the police and the courts. But not for now, this small nationalist group which is gaining national attention.
When the Syrians are really in the corner in Lebanon, they hurt. And when a thing that you do, or a speech that you make, or a statement that you announce will hurt them, they will hurt you.
It's been an astounding month in Lebanon. The war between 2 foreign armies, Syria and Israel, is no longer being fought on Lebanese soil.
And why do you throw the rocks?
Because they occupied our land.
After 22 years of occupying the south of Lebanon, Israel has withdrawn to its side of the fence. And it's in this victory for the Lebanese people that the complete impotence of their government has been revealed. There are no Lebanese troops or police here to protect and control this volatile border. The Syrians remain in Lebanon stronger than ever, and they've ordered the government to keep away. With Jewish settlements just a stone's throw from this border, the only groups in control here are Syrian intelligence and the Islamic militias that they support. The political certainties that have endured for all of this young man's life have been shattered in the space of a few weeks. Not only has Israel suddenly packed up and left, but the man who made the Syrian annexation of Lebanon his personal mission just as suddenly dropped dead.
عنده فراغ كامل. عنده مشكلة. Okay.
What happened?
Syrian President Hafez Assad passed away.
Just then?
Yeah, it's been announced on the radio.
بالدم نفديك يا بشار بالروح بالدم نفديك يا بشار بالروح بالدم نفديك يا بشار اسمعي يا بيروت اسمعي يا بيروت اسمعي يا بيروت اسمعي يا بيروت.
This rally is supposed to be an affirmation of Lebanese loyalty to Syria and a spontaneous outburst of mourning for the death of its president. But there's hardly a Lebanese national in the crowd. It's a circus arranged for the media by Syrian intelligence and attended mostly by the Syrian workers they control.
This pro-Syrian parade through the streets of Beirut is heading to an unusual destination. There is no Syrian embassy in Beirut, a clear sign that Lebanon is not regarded in any way as an independent country. Without any irony, this group here is travelling to the real power base in Beirut, Syrian intelligence headquarters.
In all of the eulogies that are being sung in praise of Hafiz Assad and his son and heir apparent Bashar, there is of course no mention of the murder and torture that the Assad regime has been built upon. Nor in the chants about Lebanese loyalty is there any mention of the hundreds of Lebanese who've been spirited away to rot in secret Syrian prisons. Like frightened people everywhere, these Syrian men are prepared to chant but not to talk, even in response to the most innocent of questions.
Could I ask why Assad was so important to you?
بالروح بالدم نفديك يا بشار بالروح بالدم نفديك يا بشار.
Can I ask you why he was so important to you?
He doesn't want to answer.
Just ask again.
أنا عجبت واحد يحكي معاي
تسمع الانتفاع اللي تركه الرئيس الأسد فيه.
يا سوريا إن شاء الله.
Apparently, the talking is best left to the Syrian organisers.
إنه يستلم ويحرر الجولان مثل ما الرئيس الأسد.
This is the headquarters for Syrian intelligence in Beirut. Lebanese are too terrified to even walk down this street, and today is a rare opportunity to film the building. It's said that if you're taken in here, you don't come out. Time will tell whether Bashar Assad harbours the same obsession as his father did to create Greater Syria through the total annexation of Lebanon. But there's little doubt that his party, minders and military are determined to stay here.
And I had here my hand broken. They were beating me on my face with the back of the gun, so I put my hand in front of the gun and it was broken. I had it plastered. I think you saw it in a film later.
Ziad Abz is one of the leaders of the Lebanon Patriotic Movement, which has opposed the presence of both Israel and Syria. But for criticising the Syrian presence in Lebanon, he's been arrested 22 times in the past 9 years and imprisoned for damaging relations with friendly countries.
It's not accepted in Lebanon to speak over a certain limit. There are some guidelines. Inside those guidelines, you are allowed to speak whatever you want. Even you are allowed to reject certain things, just to reflect the image that there is freedom. When you speak outside those guidelines, you become a troublemaker. Is it me or is it anybody else?
Well, what is that line? What's the line you can't talk about?
You cannot talk about Syrian presence in Beirut. You cannot talk about the way Syrians are benefiting from their presence here. Before, they used to give the impression that they are here just because the Israelis are here to protect Lebanon from the Israelis. Now, there's an Israeli withdrawal. There's no more Israeli occupation. And there's no whatsoever reason for them to stay. And that's why we are planning to raise our voice louder, and we will. Once I was arrested in the Ministry of Defense. I was blindfolded for 72 hours, and they kept me standing, not allowed to sit down for 72 hours.
As a vocal critic of Syria, Ziad is lucky to be alive. Over the years that he's been politically active, dozens of others have disappeared or been killed for similar activities, daring to state the obvious that Lebanon is an occupied country. Apart from the military presence, what's the intelligence numbers in Beirut?
There are around 35 to 40,000 official military Syrian soldiers and around 25,000 intelligence.
The odds are intimidating, but apparently for Ziad, not overwhelming.
We're ready to pay the price, whatever it takes. We pay the price for the Israeli withdrawal. We are ready to pay the same price for the Syrians to withdraw.
The Lebanese have already paid the price for asking Syria to leave. In 1989, a faction of the Lebanese army rose against the Syrians, accusing them of attempting to completely annex Lebanon rather than merely assisting to oust Israel. The Syrians crushed the Lebanese army and unleashed a brutal round of assassinations, arrests and torture. A pro-Syrian government was installed and elections managed ever since. On the streets of Lebanon, the Syrian president has taken equal billing with the nominal leader of the country, Amir Lahud. The government claims that it's a brotherly relationship. In his tour of Beirut, Ziad reveals a less benign side of the brotherly forces.
They use this building for the intelligence and interrogations here for this part of Beirut. You can see them here sitting on the entrance of this building. There's the intelligence.
And what's their operation there?
Here, frankly, it's an interrogation apartment where they usually arrest people and interrogate them.
It's a pretty run-down building.
Yeah, but there is 4 floors underground.
4 floors. And what's it in their cells or what?
Yeah, cells and offices for interrogation, and they use the underground part of the building.
And how long are people kept there for?
But depends. Usually, when you're kept for more than 1 month, they take you to Anjar. Anjar is near the border, where they have a big prison, where some people are there for 10 years now. And if your case is a bit more serious, you go to the Mazzi prison in Syria, where you never come back.
When the Israelis announced their withdrawal in April, Ziad was one of the first arrested in a preemptive strike by Syrian and Lebanese intelligence. Nothing unusual in that, but this time there was a very public reaction. In a rare demonstration, students from around Beirut took to the streets, demanding the release of Ziad and 5 others who'd disappeared. They were in no doubt who was behind the arrests. These words were never heard on Lebanese TV. "15 people were taken in by the security forces and 20 sent to hospital. In the days and weeks that followed, another dozen were taken from their homes or arrested on the streets. Most of them imprisoned and interrogated for weeks. After confronting the troops and the hoses, Pascal Mourad was arrested a few days later.
هي خطرة أكيد منخاف بس إنه هيك إنه ما فينا إلا إنه هيك نعمل يعني هيك إنه وجبنا هيك نعمل يعني إنه ما فينا أنا أشوف حدا مثلا إنه ما فينا أشوف إنه هيك هالذل يعني اللي عند حكامنا وهيك إنه هالزحف على سوريا وأنا إنه عادة قاعدة وساكتة يعني إنه أنا بالنهاية على إنه شو عم بتعلم أو إنه على شو عم كون هيك إنه لبنانية إنه إذا مش رح طالب إنه أنا أكون حرة ببلدي يعني. أكيد منخاف وكل شيء بس ما فينا إلا هيك نعمل يعني.
Pascal was imprisoned, threatened and interrogated for 18 days. It was a terrifying experience, but one that has merely hardened her resolve.
نحن ما كنا بنتمنى إنه بنتنا تنلقط لأنه ما في بنت بتنلقط. عيب إنه البنت تنلقط وهيك. هودي طلاب ما بيخافوا على أساس ما مش هممهم بس البي اللي عنده مسؤولية والكبار بيخافوا وقفوهم.
Like others who were released, Pascal could be arrested at any time. Other charges are still to be heard, which could lead to her imprisonment again. A threat that may be even more frightening to her parents than it is to her, but luckily she has their support.
بس في الدقيقة اللي مرقت فيها الظلم ما حبينا له انه بيتعرضوا للذل يعني. الذل ما انبسطنا فيه، مع انه بالنسبه كالموقف مضبوط يعني، اكيد بنفتخر بنعتز انه ولينا بيطلعوا كلبنانيه وطنيه مضبوط يعني. شو ما بنطالب الا بحريه بس الى لبنان، بس بسيادة لبنان يعني.
اكيد انه لان هن كثير انه خايفين يعني، هيك انه حاسين حالهم انه هيك انه كوبابل لحتى انه عم بوقفوا شباب. وليش انه عم يتوقفوا؟ لانه نحن عم نطالب بشي حق، وهن انه هيك انه مستفيدين انه من هالوضع كحكام حكومه، مستفيدين من السوريين يعني.
According to the graffiti, Pascal's university is part of Syria, and the students here celebrate the Syrian presence. Wishful thinking on behalf of the soldiers who wrote it. Pascal came to the attention of intelligence agencies for handing out leaflets protesting the disappearance of Tony, one of the members of the student council at this campus. He was held and interrogated for 19 days. Today, Pascal and Tony are in the middle of their exams. The morning session has been cancelled because 200 soldiers began chanting Syrian propaganda outside the exam room. The same soldiers who've proven so adept with spray cans. A freedom of expression not afforded to the students themselves.
هلا اذا حطيته بيضربوني، بيسحبوني، بيخبطوني، يعني شغله ممنوعه. واللي حطه بيتخبط يعني، بيختفي، بينحبس، بينضرب. يعني نحن تحكمنا صرنا كذا مره، اقل واحد متحكم 3-4 مرات مشان لانه عم نقول شعارات ضد الوجود او ضد الاحتلال السوري بلبنان.
The military presence on this campus is extraordinary. All the more so because it's not Lebanese troops watching over the students here, but Syrian.
Do they talk to you if they think you're planning something?
Yeah, for sure. They take us always for interviews or interrogation.
Interrogation.
Yeah.
This is the army that isn't there. The Syrians cannot be filmed or photographed, and they're never shown in any Lebanese media.
لا انه اذا بدك انه اذا شافوك يعني هيك بيكسروا لك الكاميرا، وبعدين هيك انه بيطلبوك انه اكيد على التحقيق يعني.
ولا عم تعمل هيك؟
ايه انه ليش انه عم بتصور، ومين مثلا بعتك لهون، انه مين دازك، ومين في وراك صعبه. وفي كمان غير انه تحقيق انه اكيد في قتله، وفي هيك في انه كمان في تكسير الكاميرا. انه مره هيك كمان حدا صور كسر الكاميرا.
اوكي هيدي اللي فوق يو تيك ات ذا روم. اوكي هيدي غرفه مخابرات. هذا المركز مسؤول هون عن مراقبه الجامعه ومراقبه الطلاب والهيئه الطلابيه شو عم بيعملوا نشاطات وكذا، كل الوقت مراقبه للجامعه.
اوكي.
Here is camping only for soldiers. They sleep here, but المخابرات مركزهم فوق بالأوضة مطرح ما شفناها هذيك الساعة عم قبيل الجامعة، وعندهم المركز الأساسي فوق حد الضابط.
Okay, I think we better go. They're coming up, I think.
They're coming up?
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
As these soldiers parade around the campus holding pictures of Syrian leaders aloft, the message for the students is clear. In this current showdown, the students here are extremely vulnerable, but they're not totally alone. Another very powerful voice has recently been added to theirs. In its coverage of the Syrian presence, the media in Lebanon has been largely intimidated into silence or downright sycophancy. But in recent weeks, the most prestigious daily in Beirut has had a shattering change of heart. Gibran Touani became editor of his family paper El Nahar earlier this year. Last month, he wrote an editorial that caused Beirut to hold its breath. Just 2 days before the death of the Syrian president, Gibran wrote that the time had now come for Syria to leave Lebanon.
We have a country, we want this country to be independent and to be sovereign. We want to be the allies of the Syrians and not the agents. And there is a major difference between being ally or agent.
In a country where such sentiments are confined to the privacy of the home, Gibran's candour is astounding.
For the time being, there is no relationship. For the time being, there is, a sort of Syrian interference and presence and domination of Lebanon. They are present in our internal affairs, in the foreign affair, in defense affair, everything. Defense affair, everything.
These are extraordinary things to say. I mean, most people will say that your life is in danger.
You cannot have everything for free. You must know that you always have to pay a price when you want something. Our role as journalists, we must know that we have consequences to pay. And this is the minimum that we can give. If we're not ready to give and to pay this price, we only have to go and do another job. We have had 200,000 people dead in this country. So I don't think that their life is cheaper than my life, or mine is better than theirs. So it's normal. They died for their country. We must be ready to die for our country or to normalize the things. So when we do deal with the Syrian issue in Lebanon, we have to say the truth to the Syrians. We have to tell them what's wrong, what's right, what we want.
A paper of such prestige as Al-Nahar will undoubtedly impact on public opinion, but not necessarily Lebanese politicians. No Lebanese ministers or officials were available to be interviewed for this program. Gibran is as frank about them as he is about the Syrian presence.
We are writing just to change, not to change the minds of the politicians. These politicians have been here because of the Syrians. These are Muppets, yes man. So it's normal. We're not working on changing their minds. We're working on giving as much data as we can give to the Lebanese people. And what we are asking the students, the new generation, is not to tell us, what do you want us to do? No. What do you want? And we are behind you.
The bravery of this group, some of them like Elsie, who are still at school, is chilling. Veterans like Ziad and more recent converts such as Pascal believe they have the support of the nation, but that is yet to be proven. In a country where tension between Christians and Muslims has launched wars, it's still to be seen whether this group, which is largely perceived as Christian, can grow into a truly nationalist movement. Undoubtedly, the situation for Muslim members like Muhammad is far more dangerous. Syrian and Lebanese intelligence would regard them as religious traitors, and it's much harder for the Muslim members and supporters of this group to speak publicly. The test ahead will be whether national allegiance can transcend religious alliances.
I don't think that any Lebanese would prefer to see Lebanon annexed by Syria than a Lebanon independent with good relationship with Syrians and others. I cannot imagine anybody worldwide who will accept to see his country annexed or with a foreign presence. This is unacceptable.
Of course, I should be afraid, but I think some of the activists in Lebanon already crossed the line where it's important for them, if they shut up now, they will be safe. Khalas, already they crossed this line. We've already endangered ourselves. So now, if we stop from speaking or if we do nothing, we will still be in danger.
When you made it very clear that you are going to write what you want to write, respecting the deontology of your business, of your job, and that you are not going to answer the phones that threaten you, they have only two choices. Either they leave you, and you can write, or they kill you. While they're thinking, if they kill you or let you continue to write, you can push higher and higher the level of freedom. And then killing you will create a major problem, and more problem than a month ago or 2 months ago.
The coming months will tell whether the pages of El Nahar report on a tumultuous change in Lebanon, or more bleakly, the fate of its own editor and a possibly doomed student movement.